Yep, here we are once again. It's early on a Nevada day, about 11 after 11. And I'm Russell Mays, and this is my podcast. You can always pick my book up at Amazon.com, Fear Profits You Nothing. And that really stands to reason during all this BS that's going on out there with this coronavirus thing. How can they change their story so much every day and talking about getting new data, getting new data? If they haven't got the new data yet, how can they actually present 140,000 deaths coming in the next week or so? How can they do that? I mean, if they're really going to have that many deaths, why are we sitting in our house fearful of this? I personally don't believe it. I'm sure people are going to get sick, and yes, people will die. But 140,000 people? No. It's not even going to come close, just like what happened over in Italy. They said they had all those deaths and everything else, and then they found out they didn't have it. That the information was wrong. Incorrect information, they were saying. So what do? You sit there and you watch the news, and I have such a problem with the news, all the news stations. How can you have it on the news 24/7 like nothing else is going on in the world? Now, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, and Adam Schiff are gearing up to do an investigation against Trump again, saying that he's the one that caused all this. So instead of Russia, instead of Kavanaugh, and instead of impeachment, now it's going to be Corona. And once they start that, that tells me right off the bat that this is a hoax. Because the last three things they did was a hoax. And now they're going to make this into the same thing. Either they're going to cheapen this to the point of where nobody's going to believe it, or it's a hoax. So you tell me, what do you think? Think it's a hoax or not? What are people going to do? If they push this thing out for a couple of months, making people stay in their house, they will definitely crash the economy. And what are they going to do if what would happen if somebody opened up a restaurant? Just saying to hell with everything, open up the restaurant. If you want to go eat there and sit there, that's fine. What are they going to do? Are they going to take the business away? If they do that, that means it's a violation of the Constitution, the right for your, life, liberty, and a pursuit of happiness. I'm wondering about that. That's a good question. If somebody said to hell with everything they're doing, because it's not an order, it's not a governmental order or law to close your building, your office up. It's not a law. It's a public suggestion. That's what it is. You do not have to follow it if you don't. Are they going to fine and sue the person's business and take it out of business? What is that about? I personally think people should get off their asses and stop this shit. Excuse my language. It's gotten way out of hand. People are going to get hurt because of not getting any money. It's already started. There's people out there that are running out of money. And when that runs dry, they're going to become desperate. And when they become desperate, that's when chaos is going to happen. And that's when good old Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer and Adam Schiff and Elizabeth Warren and Joe Biden and the rest of those socialist lefts love it. That's what they want. I do believe that Trump wants to get this economy back going, get everything in line again, but he's between a rock and a hard place. He really is. If he opens up the country and says, okay, everybody go back to work, be careful, he's going to be accused of not caring about the public and putting them in danger. If he doesn't do anything and keeps you shoved into your homes all day long, he's going to be accused of isolating and crashing the economy. So no matter what happens, Trump is going to be accused by the left of doing this. It's already started. So what I'm saying is, people, back the president. He wants the people to get back to work. They're already talking about not giving that money out to people already right away. There's all kinds of problems with it and how it gets there and what it's going to do. Well, if you guys are smart, you got the money, so it's in your pocket. Now you don't want to give it out to people. That's what it was meant for. Now you're talking about doing another stimulus package? Please. You haven't even had the use of the other one yet. Who are you giving that money to? You're not giving it to anybody. I don't know. I do believe I believe in what I call the oxygen mask dropping in an airplane when a plane gets in trouble. And the rule is put your mask on first and then the others. And the reason is because if you can't survive, then nobody survives. That's the United States. Put our mask on first. Let's take this by the horn. Stop with all the other countries and everything else. And I'm going to go off the deep end on this one. And the reason why I'm going to go off the deep end, because I know I'm going to catch flack about it. Islam has Mecca, and there's millions of people gathered at one place in Mecca every day, even now. If not, I want to see a picture of nobody at the Mecca site. If that is true, that nobody's obeying the rules there at Mecca, then why are we allowing our churches to close their doors because of the gathering? If this is such a worldwide pandemic, ooh, and then they're letting Mecca still walk around their stone, which is okay. That's their religion. And they're called to prayer like 5 times a day, shoulder to shoulder every day. Are they violating the rules of health? You never hear anything about that. You hear that they have problems in Iran, but you don't hear anything coming from the Middle East on this. Nothing. Why is that? But you have the idiots that are sitting in their houses right now that are so believing into everything that's going on is going to say, oh my God, you're a racist, Russ, because you're talking that way about Islam. So you will sit there and criticize me talking that way, but you'll turn around and you'll criticize every good Christian church in America because you can get away with it and you won't be charged with racism because you're talking bad about another group of people or whatever. So what are you going to do? That's the problem. What are you going to do? There's so many fake news stories out there. And the reason why, I mean, look what happened with the story about the U.S. Post Office. This one made me mad also. It says the post office is going to have to close its doors because of the coronavirus. That's the headline. People are freaking out over this one. Now, if you read the story, and about 4 paragraphs in, it talks about, well, we don't have enough money and we want some of that stimulus money to keep our doors open. They want part of the money too. If they close down the post office and the delivery services like that, where the government will not exist, there will be sheer rioting against the politicians. And then what's going to happen? Then it's going to be martial law. And I wonder how many of our military will actually buy into that. Why would a soldier stand there and fight a group of people trying to protect their own families when they have families they need to go protect also? This is not going to turn out the way the liberal left and socialists want. The American people are a special breed of people. We are very submissive until you piss us off. And when you get us mad, there's no controlling it, and you've had it. And they find out about this all the time. Look at 9/11. Got everybody mad, got us into the war, and then you got people, I don't know about that. After so long, we are very emotional people, and they know it. And we're knee-jerkers. But if they slowly chip away at us and tell us, just sit in your house and be nice and don't do anything, everything will be hunky-dory, and we allow them to do it. That's exactly what happens. We're allowing them to do it. So the question is who can you trust? You can't trust any. When you have the fear in people to even look at somebody at the grocery store, and it's like there is no difference. When I go to the grocery store, I see the same people that I went shopping with 2 months ago that I did, 2 days ago. The difference is everybody's looking down at the ground and they're formulating, does that person have the virus or doesn't that person have the virus? You can't tell by looking at somebody. All I know is I saw one person interviewed on the news that had the virus. And when they were interviewing him, he was cured. They're saying there are all these deaths. Well, if they can promote the caskets and the coffins of our brave soldiers coming off an airplane, I want to see these coffins and caskets of these people dying of the virus. I want to see it. Put it on the news. If it's so tragic, I want to see these bodies lined up in the morgue. I hear stories all the time, but I don't see any factual evidence of this really going on. I sort of believe that there is a virus, but I don't believe it's as bad as people are making it out to be. I want to see it. If you're going to have me facing that damn TV 24 hours 7, listen to this stupid Governor Cuomo talk about washing your hands and how many people are going to die, I want to see the bodies. You better entertain me with the death in the bodies. I want them to go into the hospitals and show the people on these ventilators. Stop buying into this shit. Show me. Show me. State of Missouri, show me state. Prove it to me. Show me these people that need these ventilators that are on it. Getting so sick and tired of this. Who can you trust? They did another news story about setting up all those tents for extra beds outside of a hospital in New York. And they were talking to a nurse who had a mask on, of course, and she was from Oklahoma. She came out to help out and how grateful she is, which is probably true. there wasn't one bed filled. None. Completely empty. I saw another video of a guy that went through Brooklyn, and also not only Brooklyn, but New York City and LA, into all these hospitals that got all this testing stations. Nobody standing in line. Nurses are playing. The people that are supposed to be doing the testing are sitting there reading books or talking on their cell phones because nobody's in line. You can walk right in. There isn't any kind of hassle going on. Why is that? All I know, people, who can you trust? That's the main thing. Who can you trust? Anyway, catch me again. My name is Russell Mays. This is my podcast. I'm going to be upping the ante here shortly. Check my book out, Fear Profits You Nothing. It's on Amazon.com. It's a good buy, good read. Talks all about your fears that you carry. And this is one of them. These are big fears. You take care now. Bye-bye.